summer lingers. In the air, in the sound, open skies, worn boots. One more night before it's gone. Gulls summer send-off.
The Gulls take game one.
And he's looking for the strikeout to put an exclamation point on this series, and he does.
And for the first time in franchise history, the Sylvan Lake Gulls head to the WCBL championship. There will be a new WCBL champion this season. That's got a chance.
Or a home
Where
run.
is it going?
Good
is it
night.
Enough? Yes, it does. Marcus Abelhosen with the walk-off homer.
The Sylvan Lake Gulls have got the dog off their back. They are headed to the WCBL championship final with an 8-4 win.
Some may say better late than never, and that could apply to a few things, including this weather in central Alberta. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Gulls Baseball on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. I'm Cale Clark. Always so happy to have you tuning in wherever you may be watching from. Yes, it was better late than never last night for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, as it took 8 innings for the bats to finally get hot, but they went from room temp to boiling in literally a matter of batters. 4 different batters sent homers over the fence in Brooks late in the game that would lift Sylvan Lake past Brooks in what was once close to a 11-1 blowout, and Cooper Zazelski got things going. Elias Duncan got a homer, and then of course Elijah Hamill with the double, and then you go to the 9th inning, and how about this one? Joey Marino lifts this deep right field. This one's going back. Cooper Zazelski with a 3-run shot homer, and you know, just continues to pick up from where he left off after finally getting off the schneid just the other night. And you take a look at the starting pitcher for Brooks, because they are the home team tonight. They're going to start on the mound, and that is Cesar Morales, who has started against this team before, but so far coming in, he's got 8 innings pitched, 2 starts, 0-2, 14.63 ERA, 12 hits, 7 walks, and 9 strikeouts. And against the Gulls, he pitched 4 innings and gave up 3 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts. This is who he's going to face to start the game, though. Elias Duncan is going to lead things off with Elijah Hamill, Joey Marino, and then Cooper Zazelski, of course, in left field. Tyler Graves, John Boy Rittenhouse, Brooks Bachman, Bryce Turner as the DH, and then Michael Quick will round out the batting order here tonight. And taking a look at the defense for the Brooks Bombers, you got Daniel Jenkins out in left field, Andrew Bain at center, Dalen Jeffcoats in right. You bring it to the infield, Darius Star Couture, Eric Balanila, Maverick McAllister, Owen Fernandez, and then Ben Simmons behind the plate catching balls and strikes. But yeah, this guy is no stranger to playing against the Sylvan Lake Gulls. As I mentioned, it's Cesar Morales. Like I said, 4 innings of work against Sylvan Lake, and that 5-3 Gulls win back about a week or so ago now on Saturday. So definitely something that Sylvan Lake is used to seeing, and we'll be interested to see how they start out batting first at their own field for the first time this season. Something that Sylvan Lake is obviously not used to doing, being the home team, but they play as the road team here tonight. And it was a wild finish in last night's game down in Brooks, and that pelts Eli Duncan, and he will get on base. Let's take a look at this again on the replay, and it comes inside off the kind of the shoulder area. But it looks like he's going to be okay as he shakes it off, and we'll head down to first. That'll bring up Elijah Hamill. And Elijah Hamill also obviously had himself a night last night in that 11-1 victory. He went 1 for 5 at the plate, like I mentioned, not until the very end. And then he drove in 2 runs and came around to score once himself. It was a close game, 1-1 tie going into that 8th inning, and then the floodgates, if you will, opened up for Sylvan Lake, and they ran away with it. And Elijah Hamill picks up from where he left off last night as he hops this right to the wall, and it's going to be an extra base hit, and they're sending Eli Duncan all the way home, and he's going to get there with lots of time. It's an RBI triple for Elijah Hamill. Wow. He absolutely cranked this ball, and it went a long ways. Stayed in the park, however, but it found a perfect hole between right fielder and center fielder that would drop and go all the way back. And Eli Duncan scores all the way from first. So just like that, Gulls take the first lead of the game. And it was basically a hitting derby last night. Great start for Elijah Hamill. This will bring up Joey Marino, who also, of course, found some luck with the bats late in that game. 1 for 5 with an RBI. 0-2 quickly to Joey Marino, second baseman tonight, and he hits this to opposite field, going pretty far back, right field, and it's caught there as Dalen Jeffcoats just kind of floats towards it and tracked it all the way. A good catch there by the right fielder. So that'll bring up Cooper Szyzalski, and I mentioned about this kid as he's taking a look at the replay one more time, and just Jeffcoats makes it look so casual. It wasn't, he was just kind of slightly jogging towards it, keeping an eye on it at all times, making a pretty good grab in right field. Gulls with the one hit, that is the RBI triple. Thanks to Elijah Hamill, and that Joey Marino fly out to right field would score another run. That was Hamill that came in, so it was a sacrifice fly out. And just like that, Gulls are up by 2. Cooper Szyzalski picking up from where he left off. He got his first hit just the other night. And then he go against the Fort McMurray Giants. And then he goes to Brooks, and he hits a 3-run homer. About 2 for 5 at the plate. And he'll take a 4-pitch walk. With only 1 away. That'll bring up Tylen Graves, John Boy Rittenhouse on deck. Graves went 1 for 4, and he was the 3-run homer. My apologies. I was saying that was Szyzalski. Szyzalski had 2 RBIs on the night last night. Graves, Marino, Szyzalski, and Sherman were the home run hitters in the last 2 innings of last night's game. It is vintage baseball night, and so if you're wondering, you're watching, it's like it's definitely quiet than it's usually at Gulls Field. Well, that's because it's vintage baseball night, so no music tonight, no sound effects, no sponsorships, promotions, in-game activities, anything like that. It is just a classic vintage baseball evening for everybody here in attendance. So that is why you basically might just be able to hear the buzz from the crowd, and that would be about it. And then, of course, the play on the field. But definitely an eerie feeling when I came into the ballpark today. You're always so used to hearing music as you're walking in, and, you know, the vibes are high with the music going on Friday night. But no, it was dead quiet, and that was with fans already here. And, yeah, just definitely a different atmosphere and scene when you don't have the music and the typical day-to-day operations here at Gulls Field. So Tylen Graves up in the count, 3-1 here, and he hits this right off the fist. It's going to drop shallow in field, and they'll make the play over to first, as that landed right between first and second base. So Saselski does get over to second safely. He had to be careful there and couldn't run right away, and they make the play over to first to make sure of getting an out on Tylen Graves. That'll bring up John Boy Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse, one of the few guys that was unsuccessful at the plate last night. He had Michael Quick coming to pinch hit for him later in the game. But we know John Boy Rittenhouse has a bat on him all season long. He has been just so solid for this Gulls organization. He's already got 12 RBIs on the year, 2 homers, and they're going to try to pick off at second Cooper Sazelski getting back in time. But John Boy hitting .239 coming into today's game. He's got 11 hits already on the season, with 7 of them being extra bases. So when he hits it, it's going a long ways. 0-1. And Saselski hits this on the ground off the glove of Darius Steyer-Couture. And both runners still safe, and the inning continues. An unfortunate situation there, as Darius Steyer-Couture just couldn't quite haul that in his glove. Bounced right off the tip and stayed in the field, in the infield, and runners at the corners now. And the 2-out rally continues. And Brooks Bachman will drive in a run and land this fair in right center field. So the Sylvan Lake Gulls put a little bit of a 2-out rally together here. And Bachman with an RBI single, as Saselski comes in to score. So that'll bring up Bryce Turner, the DH. And if you remember from what he did back on, what night would that have been? That would have been Wednesday night now. He had a 3-run homer over the left field wall here at Gulls Field against the Giants. He felt some pop in that bat. Runners at first and second, 2 down. Sylvan Lake quickly up 3-0 in this ball game, with 3 base hits. Unless they're crediting that drop ball as an error, and then John Boy Rittenhouse that would reach on base due to an error. So I'm not sure. They don't have it up on the scoreboard right now, but it's a tough play to make. I think that could go either way. I think that could be an error to the third baseman, as he couldn't quite haul it in. But it was a hard hit ball, so it's tough to say. No, I'm not an official scorer, so I'll leave that up to the guys next door. But right now as it sits, I got 3 base hits on my scorecard here. 1-2. Turner watches that go by away for a ball. Breaking ball to the outside. Again, great to have you tuning in to FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. It's Gulls Baseball. I'm Cale Clark up in the Gulls Nest with the call here tonight on Vintage Baseball Night. The Brooks Bombers, Sylvan Lake Gulls, back at it again. And it is a strikeout to Bryce Turner that will retire the side as the Brooks Bombers will come to the plate for the first time tonight. Next, they're down 3-0, but it was Elijah Hamill getting things started, driving in Eli Duncan. Reese Hammerling for the Sylvan Lake Gulls going to get his second start of the summer here at home. It's technically a road game, but it's at home. 0-1 record so far, 9 ERA, 5 innings of work he's had so far. He's given up 5 hits. Just walked 1 batter, though, and he's had 7 strikeouts. So this will be maybe one of those nights where he might be looking just to kind of improve his numbers, but these are the guys he's going to have to face to do so. And it's going to be Maverick McAllister leading things off, who's been oh so solid for this Brooks Bombers team. Colton Schmokel at the DH and Dalen Jeffcoats will play the third batter and right field tonight. And then Daniel Jenkins rounding out the batting order here for the Bombers. Look at the Gulls defense. You got Cizelski out in left field, Elijah Hamill at center, Michael Quick at right, and then John Boy at third, Tylen Graves at shortstop. Joey Marino fills in to replace Maddox Shaver. And then over at first, you got Brooks Bachman to replace Coleman Perry. So a couple key guys getting the night off tonight. Eli Duncan behind the plate, catching balls and strikes, and Reese Sherman also getting a night off tonight. So, you know, it's one of those nights where Sylvan Lake, I'm thinking they're looking ahead, and we did get word earlier today as this ball is hit hard to deep right field. This might have a chance. It's going all the way back, and it's out of here. Just like that, Maverick McAllister leads things off with a solo homer. Just on the second pitch he sees. Wow, that was cranked. And McAllister happy with it. I mean, he's been one of those guys that has been most consistent batters for the Bombers all season long so far. He's got a .328 batting average coming in. Now, that is actually his first home run of the season. 5 RBIs now. Incredible stuff. And Brooks, that's the response they needed to start this inning. As this is Colton Schmokel, the DH, down 0-2 quickly. (3-1) Gulls still lead it. Just in the bottom half of the first inning, just getting underway here at Gulls Field. Finally, a beautiful night in Central Alberta. Haven't said that many times yet this year. Two and two. And that one breaks away for a ball. Full count. But a good week so far for Sylvan Lake coming into tonight's game. They got Brooks tonight. Now, tomorrow night was scheduled to be the Lethbridge Bulls. However, the game already been announced that it has been postponed. And the game will be postponed to Tuesday, July 7th with a 7:05 pitch. And that's a walk for Colton Schmokel. So 0 outs already with a solo homer in this inning for Brooks. And now they're starting to put some things together here offensively. As Sylvan Lake with a quick lead and quick start to this game. Brooks is looking for a big response, and so far have been doing a pretty good job with it. Reese Hemmerling, cool story about him. We had him up here in the broadcast booth, the starting pitcher for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And him and Dylan Meitner were up here chatting with me as they had a night off. This goes right back up the middle. Might be a double play here as Tylen Graves does a good job to pick up that ball after it got through the wickets of Reese Hemmerling. And he still tracked that ball down nicely. It kind of took a little favorable hop to him, and then he steps on second, makes the throw to first for a big-time double play. Takes it himself and makes the throw. So that was huge for what Sylvan Lake needed. This is Dalen Jeffcoats, the right fielder. Jeffcoats has played in every single game against the Gulls so far this summer. He has had 24 at-bats against Sylvan Lake. Few RBIs. He's definitely been a solid batter for Brooks, especially against Sylvan. And he hits this high pop fly to right field. It's tracking, and making the catch there is Michael Quick. So the Sylvan Lake Gulls get a huge double play, and then just that one solo homer for the Brooks Bombers. And that will be a 3-1 lead for the Gulls heading to the top of second.
Summer lingers in the air, in the sound, open skies, worn boots, one more night before it's gone. Gulls summer send-off.
Welcome back to Gulls Field. So earlier on, we had this play back in the top half of the first inning. John Boy Rittenhouse lined it to Derry Steyer-Couture, and he went right off the tip of his glove, and it just couldn't quite come down with it. It was a hard-hit ball, a good effort, and originally it was, marked as an error to the third baseman. And then after some discussions and a little bit of time, they have now changed that from an error to a base hit for John Boy Rittenhouse. So the Gulls now with 3 hits to the Bombers 1, and they are leading this ball game 3-1 over the Brooks Bombers. And Michael Quick will step into the plate. One that retired that inning with that right field catch. And like I mentioned, Quick last night, he kind of came in as a pinch hitter for Rittenhouse and just had the one at-bat, went 0 for 1. And Michael Quick sends this to deep center field, but it's going to be catchable for Andrew Bain, who settles underneath of it for out number 1. A great catch there by Bain. Good contact by Michael Quick, but not enough, as that's right to the center fielder. So that'll be back to the top of the batting order for Eli Duncan, who got on base after being hit with a pitch, and then he came around to score thanks to Elijah Hamill's big RBI triple. The first pitch swing and fouls this back to the screen. 0-1. So yes, as I mentioned, Sylvan Lake Gulls game postponed tomorrow. Will not be taking place against the Lethbridge Bulls. It will be postponed to July 7th on Tuesday night with the first pitch just after 7 o'clock. So what does that mean then for Sunday? Well, the decision will come tomorrow. The officials, league officials, team representatives, everybody involved will monitor the weather, and they will make a decision about tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening-ish, to make a call about Sunday's game. So we'll have to stay tuned to the Sylvan Lake Gulls social media pages for the updates, and they will try to update you as soon as they know. Just classic Mother Nature doing what she does best here in the month of June. Now 2 years in a row that we've seen some tough weather here through Alberta. All right, let's take a look at our umpires for tonight's game. At home plate, we got Don Buskus. Over at first is Clayton Wandler. And then this guy is our crew chief, Elmer Jerkovitz. He's the crew chief tonight. Great to see him here at Gulls Field. First time seeing him this season. I really hope I'm pronouncing his name right, so I apologize. Elmer. Eli Duncan, even count 2-2. That one goes up high. Cesar Morales thought he might have had him there. It's close. It'll be another walk for Eli Duncan. This time walks without any pain. So base on balls. That'll bring up Elijah Hamill one more time. Big RBI triple. And he also had that 2 RBI double last night. Goes down and inside. So because it is a vintage baseball night, got to look up some, classic terms of baseball terms. Can of corn, of course, is always a classic. That's a lazy, easy to catch fly ball. And this is past the first baseman as Eli Duncan gets to second. When we take a look at the replay again, they try to pick him off, and it goes way past Owen Fernandez. So Duncan now in scoring position with 1 away. Top of 2 here at Gulls Field. There's a good off-speed pitch coming in to catch the outside corner for called strike. That was an Uncle Charlie. 2-1. Again, I'm going to just try to utilize some of these words and terms in vintage baseball night as best as I can here for you. Elijah Hamill hits this as a line drive right to the center fielder to Andrew Bain making the catch. And that's Bain's second catch of the night. And the exact same inning as well. That was another hard hit ball, but a good little hop there by Andrew Bain to make sure he gets his glove on it. That'll bring up Joey Marino. Going inside for another ball. Ball 1-1. Good stop there by Ben Simmons, who's playing as a catcher tonight. Gage Perry getting the night off here tonight for the Brooks Bombers, as is Asahi Nakano. So far, that is. I mean, these guys could still maybe make their appearance in the game at some point, but those guys playing last night will get the night off tonight, as well as Amir Pinero. That is why Ben Simmons is in. So Brooks definitely throwing some new pieces into the game here tonight, as is the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Joey Marino getting another start. Nomadic shaver tonight, and he's a heavy batter for this Gulls team. Marino taking all the way there. 3-2 now, full count, 2 down. And Eli Duncan still at second in scoring position. And this is hit well into left center field, and it's going to drop for another run scored. And a base hit for Joey Marino. His second RBI on the night. Eli Duncan comes in to score from second. And that's a well-hit ball. Great placement in the hole. So that'll bring up Cooper Cizelski, who walked back in the first and then came around to score. One and all. Three-no count to Cizelski. Got Joey Marino still over at first. Gulls on a 5-game winning streak heading into tonight's matchup. And it's another 4-pitch walk to Cooper Cizelski. These guys know what kind of bat he has, and now that he's starting to heat up, they don't want to give him anything to swing at. So that'll prompt a little meeting on the mound here for Brooks as they bring the infielders in, the pitching coach out. And I would think this is Steve Gomez heading to the mound. Just going to get everybody on the same line here, same page. Got some special guests coming in too, ladies and gentlemen. In the 4th inning, we will have a guest, and then in the 6th inning, another guest joining us. So stay tuned because it's going to be interesting. Going to have some good conversations, some good questions coming up for some big-time guests. So I can't wait to share with you who those guests are in the 4th inning. Stick around right here on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. Gulls baseball. Cale Clark here with you in the Gulls nest. Tyler Graves grounded out to the short second baseman last at bat. Tyler Graves hitting .228 so far this summer, has 13 RBIs racked up, 3 homers, and 13 hits, with 2 of them being extra base hits. This is hit right to the third baseman, and the throw down in time for out number 3. So a little medium on the mound, does good things, but not before Sylvan Lake Gulls add another run in to make it now a 4-1 ball game against the Brooks Bombers.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Have you ever wondered if there's one thing that connects people from across our province? Something that connects the coffee shop to the spray park, or the brewery to the rodeo, the campground to the sports field. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is. And it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
Bottom of 2, Brooks Bombers down 4-1 now. After that RBI single from Joey Marino that drove in Eli Duncan. And so now the Bombers looking for, again, a response here as Ben Simmons steps up to the plate for the very first time tonight. And as I mentioned, he had a night off last night, so he should be ready to go. 1-1. Takes a good cut at that one, fouling it back. 1-2. Ball hit high into right center field. And it is caught by Elijah Hamill. That was a can of corn right there. As Elijah Hamill settles underneath of it for a pretty easy out. Out number 1. Eric Bellanilla is at the plate now. He's 0-1. He's the shortstop for the Bombers here tonight. Bellanilla did come in as a pinch hitter later in the game for Lucas Munns, but went 0 for 1. And he pops this up in the infield right to Joey Marino, who settles underneath of it for a pretty easy out. Out number 2. That'll bring up Andrew Bain for the first time here this evening. When we take a look at Andrew Bain this year, 218 is what he's hitting in the summer. He's got 7 RBIs, 1 homer, and he's got 12 hits in 55 at-bat appearances. This is his 14th game of the summer, and he hits and opens a can of corn yet again. Elijah Hamill settling underneath of it for another out. So 3 consecutive pop-up fly balls, and Sylvan Lake Gulls put down 3 up, 3 down innings. They'll head to the top of the 3rd when we come back.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
Well, it's a beautiful night here at the ballpark in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada for Gulls baseball in the WCBL against the Brooks Bombers, and everybody's taking in this game. Some other ball teams, the Pirates here in attendance. That's from, I think they're from Black Falls. Looks like the girls team, so they're taking in some ice cream on the berm. Great to see other baseball teams here in attendance watching this one on for vintage baseball night. I almost said minor baseball night. And John Boy Rittenhouse hits this into the center fielder. Andrew Bain will make an easy catch for out number 1. Just like that. Andrew Bain's been pretty solid out in center field. That's his 3rd grab of the evening. That'll bring up Brooks Bachman, already with an RBI single. He hit it on a rope to left center. And he cuts under that foul. Bachman from San Diego, California, goes to Colorado Mesa University. He's come in, probably looking to increase his numbers. Only hitting 150 so far on the season. Got 3 RBIs, now 4 with tonight's RBI count. But coming into this game, he only has had 3 hits up until that point with 20 at-bats. So this is his 8th game of action. Looking to increase and improve his numbers, and so far done a good job here tonight. And he hits this down the line to Owen Fernandez at first, who will take it himself for out number 2. He just turns on this one a little bit too much over top of it, and a pretty easy routine play for Fernandez. Holds off the pitcher and Cesar Morales. So Bryce Turner, the DH, struck out last at bat. Looking to keep the inning alive. Brooks trying to hold Sylvan Lake to no more runs so that they can eventually get themselves back into this game and chip away at it. A completely different start than what we saw last night. Very slow start for both teams. Just defensively, things were looking great for both sides. It was a pitching duel, and then the 8th inning. The disastrous 8th inning for Brooks. That 8th inning saw 5 runs come in the 8th and 5 runs come into the 9th. It was quite the finish. What once was a close game, like I mentioned in my pregame show, turned into an 11-1 blowout for Sylvan Lake. Both teams had an error in that game. Sylvan Lake, with the 11 hits, Brooks had 9 hits. And it's a strikeout yet again to Bryce Turner. Back-to-back strikeouts for him, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Brooks Bombers as we get another look at this great pitch down and away. And it is a 4-1 ball game heading into the bottom of the 3rd when we come back.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Yo, Dustin, you going?
Yes.
Can I join you guys? All right, let's go.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
So I realized I never finished my story from earlier, and that reminded me. So Reese Hemmerling had him up in the broadcast booth with Dylan Meitner the other night, and he mentioned to us on the broadcast that he didn't get into baseball until he was at least 12 years old. He was a hockey player as a kid growing up, and from Beaumont, Alberta, just up the road north of Sylvan Lake and just a little bit east of Edmonton. And he said, yeah, no, I played hockey growing up, mostly as a kid, and then once he turned 12, 13, decided, no, I'm going to give baseball a try. And the kid has been doing it ever since, and I mean, pretty good to be able to play at this level for maybe one of those players that would have gotten a little bit of a later start than I guess maybe most or usual or some. And this is hit on the ground by Darius Dyer Couture. It's played by Rittenhouse over to Bachman in time for out number 1. A good play there as it's hit right on the ground. A routine play for Rittenhouse. Yeah, I thought that was a really unique story. It's not every day you hear, you know, some kids get a little bit of a later start in a sport and then they're playing that sport at a pretty good level. Just, well, I don't know how old he is. I can't remember how old he is, but I think it's probably only, it hasn't even been 10 years yet, and he's playing at this level. And he can pitch. I mean, 88 miles per hour. Kid can throw. Daniel Jenkins, maybe one of those hidden talents that he realized he had. And Jenkins sends a blooper to right field that will land in for a base hit. And Michael Quick just couldn't quite get there in time. And that's a duck snort if I've ever seen one. That'll bring up Maverick McAllister, who last at bat in the first inning led things off for the Bombers offensively with just a solo homer. No big deal. Absolutely barreled it up and went yard with it. And he hits this pretty good, but foul down the right field line. So he got himself a tater in this game. And it's his first homer of the season. But he's been batting quite well lately for Brooks. He had a hit last night. He went 0 for 1 the time before that. And he might have went 0 for 4 the time before that as well, but then he went 2 for 4. And now the throw down to second, and they got him, making it look easy. What a good throw and pickoff there by the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Tylen Graves with the tag out and didn't even need to really wait for the signal. He just knew he got him. Just boom. Got him. Wow. Sylvan Lake has almost perfected that play a few times now. Great throw by Duncan. So McAllister now with a 2-out count, 1 and 2 to him. That's something that I've, been impressed to watch Eli Duncan. He's come a long way since when he got here. He had a couple of those get away from him, but this one is a hit right to right field that will be caught by Michael Quick. And another pretty easy out. So it turns into a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Sylvan Lake Gulls after a pickoff over at second, thanks to a great arm by Eli Duncan. And the Sylvan Lake Gulls will come to bat in the top of the 4th with our special guest in just a moment.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archive game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
Four-1 Gulls lead it here in the top of the 4th inning. You're watching Gulls baseball on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. Cale Clark here with you. Great to have you tuning in. We'll be bringing my guest in here in just a moment, I believe, as long as he shows up for me. I mean, we've been stood up a couple times up here in the broadcast booth before, so hopefully he's still planning on coming up, but we'll bring him in as soon as he gets here. But to lead things off here is at the bottom of the batting order, Michael Quick, who flew out to center field last time, and he hits a little bit of a blooper here into left center field, and just couldn't quite come up with it, was Eric Balanila. And that's a tough grab to make. It was over the shoulder. He got there in time, but again, it just hopped away from the tip of his glove. And an unfortunate break there for the Bombers, as Michael Quick ends up making his way all the way to second on that play. And again, it's one of those plays. Do you call that an error? Do you call that a base hit? Because that's a tough catch to make. It's catchable. Anything that's hit in that direction, if they can get there in time, normally they would call that an error, but we'll see. Last one that was brought off an error to a base hit, I guess, was maybe a little bit of some persuasion from the Brooks Bombers staff. So, I don't know. And Duncan, for the second time tonight, gets hit by a pitch, and third time tonight will walk to first base. He's having himself quite the interesting evening. He's probably like, really? Come on. Tired of getting hit with balls here tonight. So they're giving that a base hit there for Michael Quick. And Eli Duncan over at first. So 2 runners on, 0 down here in the top half of the 4th inning. Gulls in scoring position. Elijah Hamill just trying to play some small ball as he squares for the bunt, but fouls it off. We get some warming up going on in the bullpen for the Bombers as well, and it looks like it's going to be number 29 getting loose. That is Cade Adams from Andrews, Texas. So Sylvan Lake may be seeing a new pitcher coming in sooner than later. Cesar Morales has had a tough outing to start this game. He's given up the 5 hits now, 4 runs. But he does have a couple Ks in his name. And that throw down to second, trying to pick off Michael Quick, ends up hitting Michael Quick. So both base runners have now been beamed with a ball in this inning. Elijah Hamill, 1-1. Showed bunt a couple times now. As he pulls back, and he watches that go by for a called strike. So the bunt might be off here. Hamill is a switch hitter. He can hit on either side of the plate. Of course, facing a righty, he's going to bat left. And he takes a good cut at that one, but will go down swinging for out number 1. And there's a 3rd strikeout for Cesar Morales. And let's take a look at that one more time. Oh, never mind, sorry. I got told in my head. I thought maybe we would have one, but Joey Marino will be at the plate. Couple RBIs from Marino, and he hits this on the ground right to McAllister, flips it to the shortstop, who makes the throw in time for a double play to end this inning. A huge play of what the Brooks Bombers needed defensively, as Ballanilla was the one that finished that double play with a throw and get it there at first in time. So the Gulls still with a 4-1 lead heading to the bottom of the 4th. When we come back, you're watching Gulls baseball on FloCollege. Welcome back to Gulls Baseball on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. Cale Clark here with you, and to lead things off for the Brooks Bombers, it will be number 7, Colton Schmokel, the DH for the Bombers tonight, who grounded out to Tylen Graves and then was thrown out at first. So we love to bring you into the Gulls Nest now on the broadcast booth. Joining me is a familiar face. If you've ever been to the Gulls Park, you would know this guy, but he does a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes as well. This is the COO and president of Gulls Baseball, Akil Samuel. Akil, thanks again for taking the time.
Hey, thanks for having me up here, Akil. It's always a pleasure.
So, Akil, I got to ask, we're here for Vintage Baseball Night. Definitely a unique night. The Gulls technically playing as the road team. What came to make of this night? What came to be for this night to be a thing?
Well, first of all, the Vintage Baseball Night. So as you know, Kale, our marketing team likes trying. I'll let balls hit hard.
Yep.
Likes trying different things. So vintage, low sensory nights are starting to be a thing in minor baseball, and we thought we'd try it out, especially for this extra game, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a hit ball over the third baseman of John Boy Rittenhouse that would land in for a base hit. So Bombers leading things off here in the bottom half of the fourth inning with a runner at first, and that will bring up Dalen Jeffcoats, and then, of course, Owen Fernandez is on deck. These are the scheduled batters for this inning as Reese Hemmerling still on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. He's given up just the 3 hits and 1 run, that 1 solo homer by Maverick McAllister to lead things off in the bottom half of the first. So Akil, you, speaking of vintage baseball, not trying to age you at all by any means, but it's kind of a good segue. You know, you played for the Oyen Pronghorns in the what was called the Saskatchewan Major Baseball League, and I didn't know this. I did my research. You had the first at bat for the Pronghorns in that league.
Yeah, grounded out weakly to third.
Oh no! So, sorry to bring that up.
But yeah, that was kind of cool. I was one of the younger guys in the league type thing. Didn't play my last 2 years of 18U. Played in the league, which was baptism by fire, but definitely learned a lot. Playing with college guys as a grade 11, summer of grade 11, summer of grade 12.
And that ball's hit hard, but just foul. That didn't miss by much. Third baseline, it was just left of it, so Gulls can breathe a little bit more on that one as Brooks looking to kind of chip away at this lead that they find themselves down in. But yes, back to what you were saying with the Pronghorns, the Oyen Pronghorns.
Yeah, no, it was 1993, 94, I believe. There, the first 2 years of that franchise, and this league has come like a long way. So I think it's 70-some years old. And different capacities. Got that right in the hand.
Yeah, that looked like it stung a little bit for Dalen Jeffcoats. So 2 base runners with 0 down here in the bottom half of the fourth inning for Brooks as the tie-in run technically comes to the plate here. And Matt Hape's going to come out and have a chat with
It looked like he might have swung. Matt's going to argue that he swung.
That's going to be the argument here. So we'll see what comes out of it. I don't think, obviously, Matt never, like, anytime they come to challenge the umpire, it doesn't usually go in their favor. But that'll be a hit by
very civilized conversation so far.
So far it's good. And Matt Hape has not gotten a little bit, it's never really gotten too heated in any game.
He's an even-keeled guy for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But you were talking about the Pronghorns. In fact, so you got your start in 93, you said. But in 1995, that was the championship season that the Pronghorns ended up winning it all. And you ended up winning with the Gulls owner, Graham Schetzel.
I wasn't on that team. I was done at that time.
You weren't
got into coaching.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that was a heck of a team they had. I remember watching a few of those games and obviously knew a few of those guys. But that was some team. And it was they still talk about it actually down there. It was good times, but no, like I was saying, this league has come a long way since those times for sure, right?
Yeah.
So, we had like Hazelett, Saskatchewan, Eston, Saskatchewan, a few of these smaller towns, and it's kind of the roots of this all, right? So to see what it's come to now with some of these bigger stadiums in our league now, and new ones coming, is pretty exciting.
And then you actually end up kind of going back to those roots last year in Oyen where they had that game against, I believe, was it the Lethbridge Bulls that was in Oyen there last year. So you got to go down and you got to kind of experience that and kind of rekindle some relationships with some guys down there. What was that like for you? And you got a hole in one on the golf course in a very windy day.
Yeah, we had the whole weekend was a cool experience. I had lots of good friends there. My son's mom was actually born there and stuff like that. So lots of great friends in that town, and I got my first ever hole-in-one at the Oyen Golf and Country Club, hole number 6.
I love it.
On about the windiest day in Oyen for years, but I'll take it. It was a good time.
Hemmerling with his first strikeout of the evening sits down for the first out of this inning. Bombers down 4-1 with runners at second and first. This is Ben Simmons, the catcher now, at the plate. He flew out to Elijah Hamill back in the second. And he takes that first pitch for a ball Now let's turn our attention to some cool things happening at the ballpark. Now this is going to be year 3 for the Gulls summer send-off at August 22nd. That is the final party, they say, of the summer.
Yep.
What can you say about the lineup this year and why you guys might have changed things up a little bit?
We changed it up a little bit. It kind of go with a lot of feedback we got. We had Josh Ross and High Valley the year before. But this year we just thought we'd try something different. I think a lot of feedback we got is people just wanted to come in stadium one last time, and do a little bit of a send-off. And I think maybe didn't need the big draws. I think we're going to get ticket sales have been great so far.
Good.
Where we got such a loyal fan base, right? And they just want to kind of come hang out one last time and have a little bit of a shaker. So that's going to be the brand and the vibe of it on the 22nd. So. And it's a cool event with the stage right on the infield, and it changes the look of this place for sure.
And of course, every year it's building. It's getting better and better and better. I've been here the last 2 years for it, and it's truly a party. I mean, you guys do it all. You guys go all out. You bring food trucks in. You play cornhole toss out in the outfield. You got other things going on besides just the concert and the music.
100%. Yeah, we have to make it the backyard party is what we branded that.
This is ground to Tyler Graves. It might be a double play here, and it will be as he gets the throw over in time to Brooks Bachman for out number 3. We'll bring Akil back for one last inning here, but we'll be back with more Gulls baseball here on FloCollege. Cooper Zazelski back at the plate for the top half of the 5th inning. Gulls lead at 4-1 over the Brooks Bombers, out hitting the Bombers 5-3. And speaking of hitting, that ball hitting Cooper Zazelski right on the arm, and he will trot down to first to get on base again.
Hit by a curveball, not a fastball.
Not a good, yeah. I mean, at least there's that, right? Absolutely. That's Akil Samuel, the COO and president of Gulls Baseball, here with me in the Gulls Nest. And we talked about the summer send-off. Great things to come. Again, get your tickets online. You can get your tickets online at sylvanlakegulls.com. Summer send-off, I believe, has their own website too. Right?
Yeah, you can link
through that website. Yeah. So let's direct everybody through the Sylvan Lake Gulls website. Definitely get your let's not make things more confused than we have to. Get your tickets today. Again, August 22nd. It is the final party of the summer, and this ball is hit quite hard all the way over the head of Dylan Jeff Coates. Tylen Graves will go for extra bases here, and a nice stand-up double for Tylen Graves brings in 2 Gulls in scoring position. My apologies.
Good piece of hitting right there.
Yeah.
Oppo.
An opposite fielder for Tylen Graves. So we talked about the summer send-off. Let's turn our attention to the golf course, because the Sylvan Lake Gulls also have their annual Birdie Bash.
That's right. July 20th. We're at Alberta Springs again this year. Fun tournament for sure. We're filling up fast here. Got to do some sales for it as well. So if anybody's out there,
if anybody wants to come.
Yeah, there we go. But no, it's a fun tournament. It's the Monday after the All-Star games, so we think a good time to have it. And it's all the money going to the foundation, which has just done an incredible job since day one. I think we're kind of averaging $75,000 to $100,000 a year that we're donating to different Central Alberta charities that focused on youth mental health. So it's that part of the business has been really interesting. Never been part of a foundation before, but it feels pretty good.
Absolutely,
sure.
Be able to give back to the community. That's kind of what this is all about. That's what you guys kind of brand yourselves on, of course, and it's great to see what Sylvan Lake Gulls have done for Central Alberta since coming here 5 years ago already. This is their 6th season. John Boy Rittenhouse here is at the plate right now. He is 1 for 2 on the night, 2-1 count. Runners at 3rd and 2nd. And that goes right off the catcher's mask. Fouled off the bat first, and that might have rung the ears. I bet his ears are ringing pretty loud right now for Ben Simmons.
Good job by Blue here, just to give him an extra breather.
Now, no need to brag or anything, but you and I won the first ever
That's right.
Birdie Bash.
That's right. I keep telling people that for sure. So
yeah, we were a star team. You, myself, Jim Claggett, and our public address announcer Joe Whitbread. Yeah, we had a
minus 12, I believe.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Nowadays, that doesn't really win. Yeah, there's some good golfers out there. They caught on.
Too many mulligans these days.
They caught on. Yeah, they caught on to us. So, no, John Boy Rittenhouse 2-2 now. 2 down, or 2 away, I should say. Or no away with 2 runners on. My goodness, talking is hard sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. Full count now to John Boy Rittenhouse. It's probably making me nervous. My boss is in the room on the mic with me. That might be why.
But be fine.
No, Sylvan Lake Gulls, this is year 6. Now, anything maybe coming down the stretch that you can talk on and touch base on as far as future development plans for this organization as John Boy goes down swinging?
Yeah, we, without letting the cat out of the bag, we are going to have an announcement in the next 2 weeks, hopefully, about some more seats in this place.
Awesome.
And the town's got an announcement coming up about the road and the parking lot, so I'll drop that hint.
Okay.
Which is going to be really exciting for us. And like I said, we're year 6 now, and that'll be 2027. Just a little shot in the arm of the franchise with some more seats in here is going to be exciting. The demand, Kale's been with us since day one. It's hard to get a seat in Sylvan Lake. People keep telling me it's a good problem to have, but just want to make sure that people know that we know that it's a tough ticket, and we're doing what we can. And had a staged business plan here from day one, and we want to stick to that plan so we can be here for years and years.
Well, I remember when you guys came in too on day one that you guys came in and you kind of already made it very clear that it was always to kind of meet those standards of the Okotoks Dogs and meet those standards of the Fort McMurray Giants, those kind of stadiums where they got a lot of seating. You want to always, obviously, build more and more and more. You got to start somewhere.
For sure.
Sylvan Lake, I think you guys have done a great job of doing that.
Kudos to Graham and Jen. They had a good plan here, like a staged approach as opposed to trying to go too big too quick. And, I think what we've done here, we've got the pretty loyal fan base, but a lot of it has to do with the in-game experience, and just to have something smaller and more quaint to start with. And we're ready now to have more folks in here, so that's going to be the next stage. And you're looking at one of the berms right now, and the berms are still definitely a very popular spot. We need them, and so we're going to try to do something to save the berms, plus get more seats.
Nice.
Stay tuned on that one. We're pretty excited about it.
So 2 weeks' time, Akil said that this announcement could be coming. So definitely stay tuned to the Sylvan Lake Gulls social media channels for all the announcements, especially including the ones like a postponed game, which is tomorrow. The game has been postponed, unfortunately. Mother Nature being a little bit of a prick in our rear ends, and unfortunately, it's the way it is. You can't you can only do so much with what the weather's going to give you.
Yeah, just one of those springs and start to summer here where you just can't get a break on the weather. So tonight was the exception. It's already starting to cloud over, so I shouldn't speak too quick. But
we need to get this game in still.
It's just been one of those years. There's lots of farmers in the community that are pretty happy, which is great, and we're happy for them. But, we need some dry weather now.
Cade Adams comes in to this game in replacement of Cesar Morales, and he is going to come in to relieve Andrew's Texas kid, goes to University of Texas Permian Basin. And he's, we'll see what he's got in the bag here for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, as the Gulls, with just now 1 out, runners at third and second. And this is Brooks Bachman stepping back to the plate. And I mean, it's good to see some returning guys come back to Sylvan Lake every single year. You get a nice little arsenal of, guys that come back. I mean, it's every year's different, of course, but what can you say about some of the returning guys like Cooper Sosowski, Brooks Bachman,
Brooks, Elijah,
Michael Quick?
Yeah, Michael Quick. It's good. It's NCAA and college baseball has changed so much. Nice piece of hit.
And that's hit right to the second baseman, who decides to hold on to it.
The portal and all the movement has changed it so much. So just to get guys back is a bit of a rarity these days. But the fans are pretty excited to see guys like Cooper and Elijah and Brooks and everybody back, right? So they start to recognize them and know what kind of players they are. So that's good for everybody. But we'll see. We'll every year, last year we wanted the majority of that team back, but guys at this age, things change, and different schools, different coaches send them to different spots, right?
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And things change as they develop as players too. They become, better and better ball players, and so that might make the coaches a little bit more hesitant on letting them come up here for summer ball sometimes.
No, that's right. There's a lot of leagues for sure, and there's a lot of leagues, and coaches have a lot of the recruiting gets done through the coaches. So a coach is going to send, player X to one place, but next summer, he's going to go to a different school, and coach thinks he'd be a better fit somewhere else. So. We're 6 years in. We're kind of getting a feel for all that, but I think our reputation is good enough now that a lot of these coaches don't have a problem sending us a quality arm or a quality bat.
Yeah,
know we're going to take care of them, so that's good.
And that's another thing, right? You guys get that respect from all these schools as this is lifted into center field, which will be catchable for Andrew Bain, and he'll make no mistake on that play. So a hit given up, a walked batsman, and no runs scored there for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Brooks Bombers coming to bat in the bottom of the fifth. Let's thank Akil Samuel for coming up here. Thanks so much, Akil.
Thanks for having me, Kale. You do a great job up here.
Appreciate it.
Always fun watching this for sure. So thanks, everyone.
We'll be back with the bottom of the fifth next when we come back. Gulls baseball on FloCollege. Reese Hammerling back on the mound for his fifth inning of work. He's at 49 pitches, so pretty good as far as the pitch count is concerned. And did he clip? No, he did not. Okay. Almost had me fooled there, I think. Eric Ballanilla was almost selling it to me, thinking that might have clipped him, but he was just fixing his guard. 1-0. The Gulls still hanging on to a 4-1 lead. All 4 runs coming in the first inning and a half. And then since then, the defense have shut things down. This is drilled out to right field, going all the way back, and making the catch at the warning track is Michael Quick with a great glove. He had to go a long way, and that ball just kept carrying. And, you know, looking at the wind right now, it might be pushing from the east to the west, so that is definitely in favor of any left-handed batters or balls that will fly to the right field side. So good catch there by Michael Quick. We'll bring up Andrew Bain for the Brooks Bombers. And Bain lifted and flew out to center field. Hemmerling's been dealing. He's given up just the 3 hits. A pretty solid outing for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, a good start. That's what they've been getting kind of, you know, for the most part all week, is great starts from their pitchers. Definitely has been helping their success in this 5-game winning streak. Again, we want to thank Akil Samuel, the COO and president of Gulls Baseball, for joining us here tonight on the broadcast, giving us a little bit of insight on his days as a pronghorn and the championship team back in 1995 that I guess he was not a part of. I got that mistaken. But one guy that was part of that championship team was the owner of the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and Graham Schetzel. But really cool that Akil was the first at-bat for the Oyen Pronghorns in the Saskatchewan Major Baseball League. Pretty cool honor there, as this is grounded right to Rittenhouse, and the throw over to Bachman in time for out number 2. Very similar play last time Derry Star Couture was up at the plate. Very similar hit to Rittenhouse when was thrown out to first. And Akil Samuel actually enjoying the ball game with his son, who is up watching this game with him. So didn't want to take out too much of his time, because you want to let him back at the ballpark with his family. But we will have another guest joining us here in about a maybe half inning to an inning or so. So stay tuned for that, folks, as Vintage Baseball Night continues here at Gulls Field. Another great off-speed pitch. It's been working for Reese Hemmerling. Kind of tying up the batters right now. 2 down to Derry Star Couture. And that is hit softly to the right field, and it'll be landing in for a base hit. So Brommer's trying to get something going here with a 2-out rally. That was kind of a almost not quite, but almost a Texas leaguer there on that last at-bat. They throw down to first to keep Couture checked. Daniel Jenkins will round out the batting order. He had a base hit back in the 3rd inning before getting picked off at second. That ball just missing. 3-1. Hemmerling's pitch count now has gotten up to 61. Shout out to Mom watching from Beaumont, Alberta. Hemmerling with the delivery, and that is fouled off back over Gulls Stadium, so it's a full count to Daniel Jenkins. Only 1 strikeout so far in the name for Reese Hemmerling. he would love one here to retire this inning. Hammerling full count, and it's hit on right to Tylen Graves, and it just sneaks under his glove into the outfield, as the Bombers will send Aristar Couture over to third. And this is the first time they have been this close to scoring, really, the whole game. The only time they scored was on a solo homer. They've yet to reach third base. So a good base hit there by Daniel Jenkins. Deep in the hole, that gets past the glove of Tylen Graves, and that will prompt a little meeting on the mound by Matt Haight. And this is just going to buy some time here for the pitching staff to get loose and warm in the bullpen as they start to send some arms now. Bombers, again, trying to keep this two-out rally alive. That will go back to the top of the batting order in a dangerous at-bat. Maverick McAllister, he's 1 for 2, the one solo homer. So some history on the Oyen Pronghorns for, you know, a guy from Akil Samuel who played with them, the owner, Graham Schetzel. So the Pronghorns ended up becoming the first team from Alberta to win a title in the Saskatchewan Major Baseball League, the SMBL, and opened the door for the Lethbridge Bulls to join the league in 1999, kind of transforming the circuit to Western Major Baseball League, which was then the WMBL in 2002, until it was then rebranded into what is now the current WCBL in 2018. The Pronghorns helped elevate the league into a two-province entity that represented the growing baseball communities of Alberta and Saskatchewan. So that's kind of where it all started. And it's kind of some unique history there on Vintage Baseball Night. Oh, 0-1 to McAllister. Runners on the corner. Reese Hammerling still on the mound, looking to get out of this inning unscathed. And Maverick will hit this just foul past the first baseline. So an 0-2 count. So McAllister looks to settle in here and finish things up. Colton Schmokel, if things continue, will be on deck. Hammerling trying to pick off, but just to keep Jenkins in check over at first. The only tough thing about Vintage Baseball Night, I wish I had an old-time broadcaster voice, like, you know, like a Buck Martinez with the high-pitched voice. I can't even try to copy it as this is lifted into left field, and this will be another run score for the Brooks Bombers, their second of the night. And it comes off the bat of, once again, Maverick McAllister, his second RBI of the evening. So the inning stays alive, and a run comes in to score as they cash one in. I'll bring up Colton Schmokel, the DH. And a good at-bat by McAllister. He was down in the count 0-2, and then he just lifts a soft blooper into left field for an RBI. Oh, 0-2. Yet again for this youngster, and Hammerling, he's been in this position a few times this inning, just can't seem to find a way to get that final strike, and he'll be looking for one here on Schmokel. 2-away. And ball swung on there as a nice play by Bachman off his knees, makes the play, and he gets it to Hammerling just in the nick of time, touches the bag for out number 3. Some smiles are shared, and the Sylvan Lake Gulls will get out of that inning just giving up the 1 run on 3 base hits, will head off to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Welcome back to Gulls baseball right here on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. Michael Quick will lead things off here for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as they lead now 4-2 here in the top half of the 6th inning. And yes, we're in the top half because the Sylvan Lake Gulls are playing as the road team against the Brooks Bombers on what is vintage baseball night here at the ball field and the ballpark. Great to have you tuning in, and I am pleased to be joined by another guest up in the booth, and he's taken vintage baseball night to a whole level. Ladies and gentlemen, our public address announcer, who's not usually in this booth, but he is tonight, Joe Whitbread, multitasking at its finest. Great to have you on the show, Joe.
And we have fun with the theme nights and everything else. I even wore my my bestest 1940s, I suppose, style for vintage night.
Yeah, looks good on you. It looks good. I mean,
I appreciate it.
Well, you're really pulling it off.
I even have I have my Gulls wings on my shoes,
yeah,
which is great. So
that's great. You always wear the wings. It looks great. And this is Michael Quick lining this right up the middle for a base hit. Down in the count 1-2, and the Gulls will start things off here on the right foot, right track. Nice base hit for Michael Quick at the top of the 6th inning. And I know that my friend Joe Whitbread here, he still has to do his public address announce duty, so he's going to do a little bit of both. He's going to be on the mic with us, and then he's going to announce the batters. It's all going to be good. We're going to do 2 things at once here. It's great.
Now batting, the catcher, number 5, Eli Duncan.
So if you come to a ball game, that's what you hear in the crowd, and everybody has the opportunity and privilege to hear Joe. And I guess you would see Joe, too, because if you follow our social media channels, as this is lifted just foul down the first baseline by Eli Duncan. That would have been great if that landed fair for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. But if you follow our social media channels, of course, Joe Whitbread, our host on Beyond the Bases on Facebook and Instagram. So thanks for doing that, too, because you guys do a terrific job with that as well.
Just like you, we both get a chance to broadcast the games in very different ways. And I think for people like you and I, we understand this business and the incredible people behind the scenes. But it's about you. It's about moms and dads and uncles and aunts and coaches and, even some of these players' teammates. They don't get a chance to come to Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada. They're watching from wherever it is they're watching. And I always love the connection you make, Cale, with the parents, who we actually get to see in July. They always make a Canadian road trip out of it, and I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I overheard, I'm not 100% certain on this, but I overheard that potentially Charlie Collins' dad may have been up from Australia visiting last week, but I can't confirm that. I heard through the grapevine. Now, whether that's a rumor lingering out in the air that I picked up on, I don't know, but maybe they can correct us. And feel free to Charlie Collins' family. Feel free to tweet me at Kale_Clark97 and maybe confirm one way or the other. I'd love to hear from you. And that's what we like about it, too, with this broadcast, is we do get some fans back at home, the parents, families, relatives. They do engage a little bit. They kind of will message us a little bit with, on X or however it is. They can find a way to get a hold of us, email, whatever it might be. We get a good following that way, which is kind of nice and helps correct us and keeps us in check on the broadcasts every now and then, too. So
Eli Duncan at the plate, the catcher from Redwood, California.
Yeah, good kid. Really good play at doing the catching thing tonight. I mean, he's made some really good pickoff throws to second, and he was struggling a little bit earlier on in the season with that, but you got to wonder if that's a little bit of nerves at the new club, and he's really settled in with this Sylvan Lake group here the later stages of June. 3-1 the count to Duncan as they try to keep Michael Quick in check over at first. Hits are 7-6 favoring Sylvan Lake.
Adams, a pitcher, worried about that runner. I do think it could be right about now. He sticks around.
Yeah. So a walk to Duncan. And 2 base runners back on for Sylvan Lake. That'll bring up Elijah Hamill.
Now batting, the center fielder from Oakville, Ontario. Number 14, Elijah Hamill.
Nailed it.
Yeah, 2 microphones at the same time. The mic I'm using upstairs in the broadcast booth with you obviously goes online with our friends at FloCollege and all of you listening and watching. And then the mic I'm using that you see with the
handheld.
The handheld, that's an in-stadium mic, and they get a chance to hear me do the public address. I've never had a chance. I don't know how many games you've missed. Not many, obviously. I've never missed a Gulls game in 6 years. So I literally am in that booth over there doing the public address announcing, rain or shine, snow or hail.
Yeah, we've seen that.
But I've never actually had a chance to be in the broadcast booth with you. I'm here. I hear you. I watch you. We have your feed next door. But what a thrill. Thanks for having me,
I
Kale.
appreciate you being able to come over on a kind of a unique night here at Gulls Field, something that we've never really been able to do before. And it's kind of gives the fans a really good chance to, take in the baseball like it used to be. No music, no announcements, no in-game activations. It's just strictly good baseball.
Elijah Hamill has been such a strong veteran force for us, not just on the field, at the plate and, his play, but in that dugout, in that clubhouse. He's a real strong leadership voice, and let's see how this goes.
He swings this, and it goes right off the pitcher's glove, and that's going to load the bases. As Cade Adams had a tough go at that, trying to field that ball. And next thing you know, Sylvan Lake now with 0 down, bases loaded opportunity here for Joey Marino.
Now batting, the second baseman from Surrey, British Columbia, number 21, Joey Marino.
So Joey Marino, a guy that is coming to his own here at Gulls Field as well. Had a really good night last night, as he, I believe he drove in a few runs last night.
Real difference tonight, Kale, for this Gulls team, and what's going to make them winners throughout the season is that 0 on the errors card.
Yeah, absolutely.
No errors so far, and they've looked good. They've looked good playing that ball.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of those kind of issues arise lately. They had 1 error last night, but they're keeping it limited to maybe 1-2 a game. You get into the 3-4 or more, yeah, you're basically setting yourself up not for a lot of great success.
And it's the unforced errors that cost you, right?
That is, yeah. And they always say that you give up any free passes, other team's going to make you pay for it. And so, Sylvan Lake's, that's going to be huge for them heading in against Lethbridge. Now, obviously, tomorrow's game now postponed with the rain, but maybe we'll get a game on Sunday. And, just down the stretch, I mean, you're going to have some tough opponents coming up. They got to go into Saskatchewan and play some tough teams there. This is going to be lifted in right center field, and that is going to drive in 2 runs. So Sylvan Lake's Joey Marino with a couple RBIs will start to pull things away for Sylvan Lake once again.
And that looks like the game last night, Kale, in Brooks. It took a late start. It was 1-1 for a while, and all of a sudden, Sylvan Lake came on strong. A road game last night in Brooks, and a road game today here at home, which is a weird one.
Yeah.
But Brooks, obviously, with a meeting on the mound, does look like they have an arm just starting to warm up. So, oh no, they are going to go to the pen here.
Going right to the pen. So as you know, Cade Adams comes off. It was an early night of work for him, but they're going to bring in somebody else. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. You're watching Gulls baseball right on FloCollege. Walker Cocotelo on the mound now for the Brooks Bombers, comes in relief for Cade Adams, and the Gulls up 6-2. So Cooper Szyzelski is back in the batter's box, and this is a kid, Joe, that, you know, he's starting to find his rhythm. You know, we've been waiting for it. He's the MVP from the summer of 2024, and you knew Cooper Szyzelski was going to be a kid that was going to finally get things going, and, you know, he finally gets that base hit against Fort McMurray, and then he comes in, and he's now been 3 for 3 in the last 3 games.
He wants to be a regular player in this lineup. He was, obviously, in his MVP season a couple years ago, and he has not found that groove. I talked with him the other night after one of our games here in this 7 and 9 stretch, and he's liking what he's seeing now, but it took a while, and he even admitted that. He said that he felt a lot of pressure, Cale. He knew he had that MVP season, and he knew he was a fan favorite, and he didn't want to let the fans down, and he told me he felt a lot of pressure, and I think that's finally starting to get watered down. He's starting to feel the love from Gulls fans as opposed to the pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's, you know, hasn't had a base hit yet here tonight, but he has gotten on base 3 straight times. Whether it's a hit by pitch or a walk, he has reached base all 3 times. He's got runners on the corner, Elijah Hamill over at third, and he got Joey Marino over at first. 1 and 2 to Szyzelski, watching that go by, but it will paint the corner for a strikeout on Szyzelski. So tough break there for him.
Unfortunate. He was looking at it. He didn't like necessarily the call, but we've seen a few of those. Don Buskus, a veteran umpire, calling the balls and strikes tonight.
This is who's up.
Now batting the shortstop from Bartlett, Tennessee, number 12, Tylen Graves.
So Tylen Graves coming into this game, 228 is what he's hitting, 13 RBIs, 3 homers. And so far, he's got that double back in the 5th inning, 1 for 3 on the night. Gonna just keep Marino in check over at first. 6-2 Gulls game winning over the Brooks Bombers.
11-1 last night, coming off a huge win on the road.
But it was a close game right to the bitter end, and then it turned into a blowout.
It sure did.
And then they tried the old pickoff play. Elijah Hamill kind of waiting, and they get. Now a double play, and they got him. Great play work there by the Brooks Bombers.
Wow.
A little bit of some foolery in the infield there as Elijah Hamill was trying to play a little bit of cat and mouse with the infield, but Brooks definitely not taking any exception, and they catch Sylvan Lake with that play, with a double play to end the inning. Bombers coming to bat in the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of 6, Reese Hammerling still on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. His pitch is up to 69 now, and he's just given up the 6 hits, 2 runs. Sylvan Lake still leading 6-2. I would think Hammerling's probably getting close to the end of his night.
Bottom of the 6th, now batting for the Bombers, the right fielder, number 1, Dalen Jeffcoats.
So Dalen Jeffcoats will ground this right to Tylen Graves, who will pick it up cleanly and fire it in time for out number 1.
I get a lot of comments, Kale, while you're on the air. I get a chance to visit with fans, maybe a little bit more than you during the game. We get some tours upstairs, and I don't know if you get passed along the credit you deserve, but you stepped into this role, veteran in broadcast, obviously, but a lot of fans appreciate what you do. When they can't catch a game at home, you're there for them. You're the voice of the Gulls, and you deserve that credit. So I just want to pass that along.
Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I love getting to do this. Like, it's, you know, I mean, yeah, you know it as much as I do. It could be a pretty heavy schedule in the summertime.
Now batting for Brooks, the first baseman, number 42, Owen Fernandez.
1-1 the count to Fernandez as he takes a pretty good cut at that on the inside, missing 1 and 2.
This Bombers team has really improved this year. You and I have been around to watch this team, not always at the top or even in the middle. The Bombers have struggled, but they're a much better team this year.
There's a strikeout for Reese Hammerling, so he might not be done just yet, as that is his second strikeout of the night. And that'll bring up Ben Simmons.
Here's the catcher, number 18, Ben Simmons.
So Simmons 0 for 2 on the evening. He grounded to Tylen Graves in his last at bat and then flew out to center field, Elijah Hamill, in the second. But you're right. The Brooks Bombers have come a long ways. I mean, they have definitely picked up their game, and they've played Sylvan Lake hard all summer so far, and they've had a good chance to see Sylvan a number of times now this season.
And good for the league. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, the parity in the league is starting to get there. There's still some issues. There's still some bottom feeders, so to speak. With full respect to their programs and and who plays there and who coaches there and how difficult in this league in Canada it is to recruit good players. But the parity's getting there. We're starting to have baseball where any team can truly beat any team at any park in any weather, as we've seen on any night.
Yeah. And Energy City, another one of those teams that, they had the branding change and things like that, but even themselves in the last couple of years, last year they played something like pretty competitively. This year they're playing even more so competitively against the Gulls and other teams as well. So it's good to see. Yeah, you want to see. You don't want to see blowouts in baseball. You want to see good, close baseball games, and that could go any way on any given night.
Well, and lots has been said about Energy City, and certainly far be it from me to continue with that. We want them to be successful, provided they're bringing all of the things that the other teams have to bring.
Yeah, this is grounded out to Rittenhouse, who will make the throw, and it is right on target for out number 3. So Sylvan Lake, 3 up, 3 down inning for them, and they will come to bat in the top of the 7th inning. Joe, if you want, you can stay out for a half inning, or if you got to get back, whatever you're thinking.
It's vintage night. If you're okay with it, I absolutely I love this part. I've obviously been in broadcast for so long. Public address is great, but I really do appreciate being up here with you. I'll stick around if that's okay.
We'll be back with Joe in the next inning. We'll be back. Walker Cocotelo back on the mound for the Brooks Bombers after coming in that last inning to relieve Cade Adams. So he'll be looking to get his first full inning of work here in this top half of the 7th inning, and just kind of look to hold the Gulls at bay as the Gulls up by now 4 runs.
Bit of a weather system in the area, Cale.
Yeah.
According to my calculations, late tonight, early morning, a big storm rolling into central Alberta and Sylvan Lake affected, already postponing tomorrow night's game.
Classic Mother Nature.
Leadoff hitter for your Sylvan Lake Gulls. Now batting, the shortstop, number 12, Tylen Graves.
Number 5, 6, and 7 hitters to lead things off here in the top of the 7th inning. Tylen Graves leads things off as our public address announcer still in the broadcast booth with us. That's something that we don't really say often, but Joe Whitbread here with me, just multitasking. The guy can do it all. I mean, Joe Whitbread, for those that don't know him, if you don't know him, it's a surprise because, everybody's got to know Joe Whitbread by now, especially if you're in central Alberta. It's hard not to. Joe Whitbread, you have been in this area doing broadcasting and all sorts of great things in the community for so many years. Red Deer Rebels, the list goes on and on. I don't even want to start because I know I'm not going to do you justice with the resume you put together.
They say when I was younger, I was just like everyone else trying to get into the business here and there, and you don't get there alone.
No.
I texted. Well, actually back then I probably just emailed and phoned and got a hold of people in places like yours right now. I got a hold of the Cale Clarks. I messaged the people behind the scenes. I said, can I come and try it? Can I come and be a part of it? I didn't get the microphone. I didn't get a chance to go on air, but I always had people like you and like me who said, absolutely, come up, stand in, see what it's like, and you don't get here alone.
Yeah.
There's so many people that allow you those opportunities. They open that door. And then now you and I are stewards of the game. We're stewards of broadcast, and we have to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. 2-2 count to Graves as he watches that go by to make the count full. 0 down here, just getting underway in the top half of the 7th inning. Tell us a little bit about your broadcasting career. You got your start in radio, and that was, I believe, up north, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, 1995, for those keeping score at home. I was on the air, radio show in country music, and eventually into other formats of music, and really started to enjoy the newsroom.
Well, there you go. That ball gets passed for a ball, so it'll be a walk for Tyler Graves as that ball comes all the way back to the screen, a pass ball.
Yeah, at one point I was doing every single job in a radio station. Back then, you sort of wore all the hats, from news and sports to on air to music to writing, and then that's where I really started to develop that part of it. And then I found live sports, just like you have, and really took a hand at that.
Love it.
Now batting the third baseman, number 7, John Boy Rittenhouse.
So Rittenhouse steps up to the plate, and first pitch swinging back on the screen. Walk to Tyler Graves. Still 0 down here in the top half of the 7th inning. Gulls just looking to add a little bit of insurance to their 4-run lead over the Brooks Bombers. Now on a 5-game heater, and they will have for sure an off day tomorrow. Now that has been announced earlier on today by the Sylvan Lake Gulls organization on the social media channels. Rittenhouse hits this right off the bag. That's going to stay fair, and a base hit will land for Rittenhouse and the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Boy, is he a really fantastic player for this club. Comes in this season, nothing but hits.
Yeah.
His on base and his slugging percentage have got to be up there in terms of this roster, but also in our history. John Boy is absolutely a slugger for this team and can be counted on to get on base.
He's hitting .522 as a slugging.
Wow.
Yeah.
First baseman, number 2, Brooks Bachman.
Yeah, his on-base percentage, .340.
Wow.
And .239 coming into tonight's game. But, when he hits the ball, he hits it hard.
He really does. He's had a lot of long balls this year.
And Brooks Bachman now trying to almost do a similar play, just an opposite field hit. Goes foul down the third baseline. Tyler Graves at second, Rittenhouse at first. Still 0 outs. Brooks Bachman coming in to this at-bat. He's 1 for 3 on the evening with that RBI single back in the first inning. He's popped up to the infielders since. 0-1. Squares for the bunt. Maybe some small ball we might see here, Joe. And late stages of this ballgame, we've seen that a little bit by Sylvan Lake.
The Gulls will do what it takes. They have absolutely no fear of small ball.
Yeah.
Bunt baseball under Jason Chatwood's general manager now, but head coach and now Matt Hape. No issue, whatsoever.
And it's a development league. The nice thing about it too is they're moving in players. Guys are getting into the game. Guys are getting breaks. And Bachman lays down a nice bunt here, and it comes a long way as the pitcher, but it's not going to be in time. And Tyler Graves could have maybe thought about going for home there as the ball got away from Maverick McAllister at first base, but a great bunt there by Brooks Bachman. It was perfect.
Yeah, it really was. He squares away, he puts it down just slightly down the third baseline, just enough that it makes for a difficult throw. Pickup not in time anyway, wouldn't have made a difference if it was. And Brooks is on first with a mound visit. Good chance, too, to remind everyone about Dad. Father's Day on Sunday. I know a lot of these players miss Dad during the season, if they're lucky enough to still have Dad and stepdads and grandparents and grandpas. So a big happy Father's Day to all of you who have a part in that. Dads are such a big part of baseball.
Yeah.
Moms are, too, obviously.
Yeah, both parents.
But
get the kids to the diamonds in time.
There's something really sentimental about playing catch with Dad, and I know not everyone's lucky enough to have their dad around to do that, or didn't have that experience. But happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. That's on Sunday, so we hope we have a baseball game on that day. But if not, Joe, happy Father's Day to you, because not only are you a father to 2 amazing kids, but now you're a grandfather. Talk about that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty special. This is going to be your first Father's Day as a grandpa.
Yeah, so it's no longer about me, right?
No, it still is. Absolutely.
I appreciate you. Yeah, thanks. I've been a dad for now, I guess, almost 28 years, and now a grandfather for the first time this year. Everyone knows Morgan here at the ballpark. She's on maternity leave, but if you followed this team for any length of time, you know my daughter, Morgan. She just had a little boy, a future Gull, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go.
And so, yeah, we're thrilled. So, but it's now about them. I actually just told her. She said, I got to see you on Father's Day. There's a game on Father's Day. I have to come see you. I said, no. There's a new dad in town. You have to. And Beckett's got a dad now, so her little boy Beckett and Tyler, who's just an amazing father already. Just so thanks for saying so. But yeah, I get Grandparents' Day. I got to figure out which day on the calendar.
What day is that?
What day is that?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, happy Father's Day to all of you back home watching, all the dads watching on this broadcast. We hope you have a great one on Sunday, and hopefully the weather wherever you are finds you well, and you get to celebrate with your loved ones on such a special day. Thanks for bringing up that, Joe, because we kind of get so busy here at the ballpark, sometimes you kind of forget these days coming.
That's right. And Calvin in the truck tells me it's September 13th is Grandparents' Day.
Okay, there you go.
So I now need to, I don't need to remember that, but whoever's Grandparents' Day.
Yeah, there you go.
That's now the new important day on my calendar, September 13th. Thanks, Calvin.
I love it. Well, another new pitcher getting loose here for the Brooks Bombers on the mound. And that's number, I believe, 24 is what I think I saw. And we don't have a 24 on my roster, so.
Their mom and his dad is watching right now going, hey, it's my son.
Yeah,
he's
my son.
Yelling.
That's Sloan is the pitcher, so that will be the guy that's on the mound for Brooks.
Great band from the 90s. And if you're watching, if you're Mr. Sloan's dad or mom or grandparent, we apologize. Sometimes we get the rosters from the coaching staff on the benches, and
so it's Aiden Sloan. Our guys in the truck are amazing.
They're
Calvin
unbelievable.
Bellows from Green Onion Media. He keeps us in check, and he just gave us the first name for Sloan. So Aiden Sloan on the mound. Thanks, Calvin.
And hi to our Brooks Bombers families watching as well.
Here
in the WCBL, it doesn't matter what color of jersey you're wearing. We appreciate our visitors, and frankly, they're the home team today, which is the odd part. So, now batting the designated hitter, number 9, Bryce Turner.
24, Aiden Sloan against Bryce Turner. Bases loaded situation, 0 outs. Gulls looking to do some damage.
Yeah, to add to their lead, 6-2 now. Top of 7.
Takes a hopper, but a good glove by Ben Simmons behind the dish to snag that.
So we've never done this before, Cale.
No.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here. After 3 outs, we are in the middle of the 7th inning, and on vintage ball night, and low sensory night for our home fans, instead of playing Pump It Up, instead of playing loud music as we do the 7th inning stretch, they've asked me to start Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And you know where I'm going on this. I happen to have the PA microphone.
You do have the PA mic.
I'm wondering if you might help, and I certainly can jump in, leading us in Take Me Out to the Ball Game mid-inning.
We can definitely try. Okay. We can definitely try. I might have to pull up the lyrics and cheat a little bit.
I'll help you out.
It's been a while.
That's
great. It's been a long time since I've sang that song. You guys are singing. I'm usually on the broadcast still, so I try not to sing too much, and nobody at home needs to hear that. So.
That's the one song you're allowed. You are allowed. I don't care who you are. We've seen plenty of celebrities, especially at Wrigley Field.
Well, that's going to be a walk, and it'll walk in a run to score, so Tylen Graves comes in, and that now makes it a 7-2 ball game.
If Bill Murray can do it.
That's true.
I mean, no one wants to hear him sing either.
That's true.
But if he can do it, you can. Now batting for the Gulls from Oshawa, Ontario, the right fielder, number 44, Michael Quick.
You know, I know how to start it. It's the middle part that gets me every time.
Well, as long as it's root for the Gulls team.
There you go.
You know, the home team, I suppose. But that home team is Brooks, so we have to say the Gulls team tonight.
Yeah, do we say Bombers team?
Well,
I mean, they are the home team.
If you want to do another broadcast,
I know,
right?
Yeah, that's a.
You may want to.
You're really putting me on the spot. This could be
one's
a trick question.
It'll be complex.
This could be. I'm going to start sweating now.
We'll hang out the window and see if we can have some fun. It's a pretty good crowd, as you can see on your screen, and so many more that aren't on that screen. It's a pretty good crowd for a scheduled game. And what's interesting, a lot of people don't understand, this is a scheduled game, as you can see. Lots of empty seats, obviously, but there's more underneath in the concourse area.
Yeah, that doesn't show. People like to stand on the concourse.
But what a lot of people don't know is this is on the schedule, but it's not a home game, obviously, as we've said ad nauseum. But because it's not a home game, there's no season ticket holder tickets. And so a lot of those seats on a regular night are filled by season ticket holders, but this is a road game at home, so those are not season ticket seats. So just to be clear.
And another walk that will walk in another run. So Brooks having a tough time right now finding that strike zone and putting some outs together here against the Sylvan Lake Gulls as the damage just continues to pile up against Brooks.
Yeah, and they're watching their chance at a comeback, slip away. They also lost, the first game of this home and home.
Yep.
Or home and away.
Two and home.
Two
home
at
games.
home. I don't.
Yeah.
So they really, for them, they really need to win this game. Obviously, every game on a shortened WCBL season is important, but you never want to lose both, or in some cases, all three. A sweep is awful in all sports, but you just simply don't want to get swept. Bombers really have to, and they know it. Bases loaded again, still damage to be done, none out still. And Eli Duncan at the plate.
Yeah, and this is a guy that can do some damage.
Now batting the catcher, number 5, Eli Duncan.
Well, this is game number 7 of 8 scheduled games against the Brooks Bombers this year. So they've almost gotten all their games over with before the end of June. And they would have. This would have technically been game 8 of 8. Shouldn't they have had that rain out or that postponed rained out game against the Bombers back on that Sunday afternoon game, which was supposed to be back on the 31st of May. So that game still needs to be played as well. And that'll be on July 28th. So this will be the last time these two teams play each other for quite some time.
Yeah, 28th is the makeup of that one. We've had Mother Nature. We talked Father's Day.
Yeah.
But Mother Nature has not been kind in central Alberta or all of WCBL. Lots of rainouts in the end of May, early part of June.
Swing and a miss there finally for out number 1 for the Brooks Bombers.
Nice pitch.
Yeah, Aiden Sloan is able to find the strike zone with this at bat. And
bottom falls out.
Nice breaking ball down and away.
It's good. You almost start cheering for the home team here in an 8-2, and not completely, but that's a real good pitch.
Yeah, that's a good pitch.
See if they can turn things around. Number 14, Elijah Hamill.
Well, you got to give compliments where compliments are due, and that was definitely due. As Elijah Hamill drills this right up the middle, and that's going to drive in just 1 run as they hold Bryce Turner over at third, but another RBI single. And speaking of a guy that's getting his bat going, Elijah Hamill really picking up from where he left off last night.
He's an incredible fielder. I love his defensive play, but when he's at the plate, he's just a really strong man. Look at him. I mean, what a great kid, too. Have a chance to visit with him quite often. Elijah's so kind to our leadership group and everyone upstairs, and that's really what it's about.
So Joey Marino watches the first one go in for a strike.
Second baseman, number 21, Joey Marino. Keep forgetting I'm doing 2 jobs.
Yeah, no, fair. Joey Marino's kind of had a sneaky night when it comes to RBIs. He's got 4 RBIs on the night, Joe, and this gets past the catcher, Ben Simmons, and things going just from bad to worse for the Brooks Bombers. That's a little bit of a wild pitch.
Double digits now.
Yeah, and it's now 10-2 for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. That's Aiden Sloan still on the mound, but a little bit of a wild pitch on that one. Getting past Ben Simmons, and scoring another run.
Gulls scored 11 last night, late in the game. They had a 10-4 game against Fort McMurray earlier in this homestand. They're scoring a lot of runs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's kind of what you want to see, especially when you know that there are other teams piling on even more so runs in their games. You know, the Okotoks Dogs, I mean, they are just an absolute powerhouse. I mean, they seem to be a powerhouse every year, but this is another one that gets past the catcher, and he's still looking for it. Now, Michael Quick comes in to score. And
that's a pass
Ben
ball.
Simmons, that one just kind of goes through the wickets of his legs, so that's a pass ball.
Yeah, we got wild pitches, we got pass balls, we got errors. You know, I really feel for this team right now. I feel for the coaching staff. You know, it's a team game. There's individual errors that happen. Right now, there's some frustration out there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you really, really need to sort things out. I'm expecting a pitcher's mound visit here soon.
Well, he finds his own there as Marino watches that go by. Full count to Marino. Just the one runner over at third now. That's Elijah Hamill. It is a 11-2 ball game. And should things remain the same.
Another walk.
That's another walk. Yeah, runners on the corner.
There's your visit.
And there's the visit. Yeah. But the mercy rule could be coming into play here should Sylvan Lake Gulls be up by a certain amount of runs.
Yeah, and we can't have that because we have to hear you sing.
Well, we will, because that's only after 8 innings.
That's fair.
We'll still get to the 7th inning stretch. Absolutely.
Good. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Like and subscribe, everybody. Like and subscribe. Brooks Bombers on the hill right now. Their field unable to play. I believe there's an event locally. Don't quote me on that, but I believe the reason this is not a Brooks Bombers home game is because something is happening in the municipality of Brooks at the field.
Yeah, I heard something kind of similar. So
Donnie Buskus gives us the wave upstairs, the home plate umpire.
We're going to try to get some numbers here from the new pitcher that is now on the mound. It's pretty sure it's got a 20 in there. It's in the 20s maybe. It might be
24 maybe.
24 was our last
pitcher.
He was, so it might be 23 maybe.
His parents. 28.
So Martel. That's Paulo Martel, the right-handed pitcher from Anasco, Puerto Rico.
Hello to our viewers in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Nice to have you along. Sorry it's not going your way if you were cheering for the Bombers in baby blue. There was a game, I believe, last year and almost a game this year where the Brooks Bombers and the Sylvan Lake Gulls wore their baby blues.
Yeah.
Last year, it happened, and then halfway through sort of the batting practice, they switched it up, and it just happened in the Brooks Bombers' last visit here. Their media relations people came upstairs, had to change a couple of numbers on the roster because the baby blues that they were going to wear, they realized that the Lake Boys, which is what it says the Lake on our baby blues, and they really do look pretty similar. So not as serious as it is in other sports when they wear the same colors, but it doesn't help people like you and me.
No, absolutely. It makes it a little bit more challenging.
It certainly does.
Just what we need, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it wasn't a struggle up here enough as it is.
That's right.
But no, that's great. But no, we were talking about like the guys, the teams that are, getting a lot of runs, manufacturing a lot of runs this year. Okotoks Dogs coming into tonight are a plus 119 differential.
Yeah, that's
wild.
Yeah, and it kind of goes against what I was saying. I don't like that, and certainly full respect to their hitters, their coaching staff, and that program.
Yeah.
But you don't yet like to see a differential like that. That's not the parity this league needs. Let's see if Cooper Sazelski can get his bat rolling like he has in the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
Left fielder, number 18, Cooper Sazelski. This will be a fun thing to watch on Vintage Ball Night.
Technically, Sazelski is just 0 for 1 on the night, but he did reach base 3 different times. And you know what? Sylvan Lake, we talked about how their bats have been coming alive. Sazelski's bats been going well. They're third in the league with the most plus differential as he hits this right on the ground to Ballanilla, and he will make the throw in time for out number 2. But the job done, another run does come into score as Elijah Hamill crosses home plate.
Always appreciated our visits, and that happened here in Canada with the Sazelski clan.
Yeah.
Their family always up from Colorado. I remember when the Oilers were making their runs. This is obviously a hockey market up here in Canada, and the Edmonton Oilers have made the Stanley Cup final 2 out of the last 3 seasons. And you know, the Sazelskis really got into that hockey thing, but they're Avalanche fans, and that was fun to watch.
And this past year, I'm sure, was a lot of fun for them to watch.
Absolutely.
With the Avalanche. Unfortunately, not the outcome they wanted, but this is a well-hit ball. Line drive into left center field that will drop for yet another run scored for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and it'll be a stand-up double for Tylen Graves as he continues to also have a great bat.
Yeah, Tylen has been a real blessing on this team. Bartlett, Tennessee, his family no doubt part of this broadcast and watching. Hopefully you get the chance to see you. Really have enjoyed Tylen. He's a great hitter. He's a good kid. I've always appreciated how all of these gentlemen get a chance to meet us. They learn our names pretty quickly, and they're kind, and Tylen is one of them. Here's number 7, John Boy Rittenhouse. Scottsville, Virginia. Hello.
Hello. 2-way. 7 runs put in this 7th inning for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Now up 13-2 over the Bombers.
Yeah, it really got away on the Bombers.
Yeah, seemed to get away on them.
Which happened last night.
And
so
that,
there
yeah,
has
that
to
could
be
go to that could go to just maybe some arms getting tired, and them utilizing all their good arms earlier on in this week, maybe, and just things are just starting to fall apart a little bit for Brooks, but they will rebound, they will regroup, and they will probably get set for their future matchups that are coming down the stretch, like they always do. 0-2 here to John Boy Rittenhouse. Watches that go in the turf. Staying alive. 1-2.
It's a rare day off for the Sylvan Lake Gulls because of that rain out on Saturday, and they get to be at home. I know that the Billet families don't get many, believe it or not, while the players live here all summer, they don't get many Saturdays to show the kids around, to show them the attractions. Obviously, it'll be a rainy day, which is why we're sort of not playing, but that is a fair ball.
And that?
No.
No, it's just foul.
Wow.
And maybe that is a sigh of relief for Brooks right now, obviously.
Look at this.
Let's take a look at the replay. That was close. That's for John Boy. I mean, it was, just popped over the bag left of it, maybe.
Home plate umpire Donnie Buskus had a much better look at it than we did.
Yeah. So, we know that there was a kid that couldn't come up this year, and Mr. Ray, and it's too bad for him that he couldn't come up to play and be part of this club. But his dad, Tom Ray, had nothing but good things to say about actually Tylen Graves, who's over at second right now. He said, "You're going to really enjoy this kid." But one thing that Brooks is enjoying right now is a strikeout to finally retire this inning. Look at this pitch, just catching that outside corner on John Boy. So we will step aside. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th inning. When we come back, Gulls lead it now 13-2. A solo shot for Brooks Bachman, getting his first of the summer, showing some love to the Gulls faithful. That was smash, and no doubter, you knew it as soon as it came off the bat. That was gone. So Gulls just keep on coming. And that will bring up Bryce Turner. Fouls it back. But definitely Brooks running into some issues, maybe with the pitching staff a little bit. You know, they got to save arms, obviously, too, for more games down the road. So I think they're just kind of running a little low on arms right now, and they're just trying to get out of this ball game. So a 14-2 lead now for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Thanks to that solo homer. It's the first homer of the night for the Gulls. We saw a homer back in the first inning for the Brooks Bombers, but Sylvan Lake, no homers yet in that game up till now. And they had 4 last night as Turner hits this right to Balamimi on the run, makes a nice throw, and that's in time for out number 1. Great job there by Eric Balamila to get that throw there in time. See him pick it up on the run and on the move, and he one-hops it right to Owen Fernandez. Well, I do feel bad for the fans in that 7th inning stretch. My singing, I couldn't have been that good, that's for sure. Joe Whitbread made me sing the 7th inning stretch, take me out to the ball game. Pretty sure I heard some coyotes in the distance. 0-1, Michael Quick. He is 2 for 3 on the night. I mean, this sure makes my player of the game pickings a little bit trickier. Elijah Hamill had a great night. Joey Marino has 4 RBIs. You know, yeah, some really good base hits. Everybody really contributed quite a bit here in this game. One and 2 to Michael Quick. Gavin Galenza on deck. Quick drives this down the line fair, and he's going for extra bases. The Gulls bats not cooling off anytime soon just yet. Wow, that was right down the line. Nearly impossible for Owen Fernandez to get there in time. So Sylvan Lake's bats just continue to roll here. As this week has gone on, Joe Whitbread announced about it, talked about it, about how, you know, this offense is starting to click. Things are really heating up. You know, coming into this game, even for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, their differential was plus 35. I mean, things, you know, it's just everything's starting to come together right now. And you love to see it. You do love to see it. You know, and like most teams, it can be a little bit of a slow start because guys are coming in, guys are still trying to gel with each other, and everybody's still trying to get on the same page. The one team that really didn't need to have any gelling, that were already gelled to start the season, was the Okotoks Dogs. I mean, they had guys that have been with that team for 4 or 5 plus years. And Ricky Sanchez and Nash Kroll and Connor Croson. Like they have a lot of depth and leadership in that locker room already, and they were there to start the season. And a drop ball there on the concourse. Fan tried to barehand it. You got to give him credit. He tried. That might have stung the hand a little bit, but he's acting like it's okay. So Gavin Galenza 1 and 2. 14-2, Gulls lead it over the Brooks Bombers on Vintage Baseball Night here on Friday evening. Galenza watches that go by for a ball. And that beams Gavin Galenza right in the arm. So he's going to walk down to first. So we take a look at this replay again. Comes up high, right on the shoulder blade almost, on the left shoulder. Looks like he's going to be okay, though, as he shakes it off over at first. So Dom Giusti will come in and replace Eli Duncan's batting order. Meanwhile, Gavin Galenza, or sorry, my apologies. Gavin Galenza is in Eli. I'm a step behind here, folks. Sorry about that. Gavin Galenza is going to be in the Duncan spot, and Dom Giusti will take over Elijah Hamill. I'm a little slow on my scoreboard here. Oh, 0-1 to Giusti after fouling that off. Just one away. Brooks looking to get out of this inning. Down 14-2. And going to need more pitches like that, as that is a called strike. Right down the middle on Giusti. And I think it's going to be up to Paulo Martel that's going to close this game out for the Bombers. There's nobody else warming up in the bullpen for Brooks. And that goes down and away into the turf. Joey Marino on deck to Dom Giusti. 15 hits for this Sylvan Lake Gulls team. I mean, wow, they really racked up and put some good wood on the ball here tonight. That takes a hop, gets away. The throw to third, is it there in time? No, it is not. So a stolen base there for Michael Quick from second. Now 90 feet away from scoring. And you take a look at it, he thought about it, hesitated, and then he just committed to it. And a good dive and throw a little bit off the turf and into Star Couture's glove that he wasn't able to quickly turn around and make the tag before Quick was already there. So the count now even at 2-2. Full count. Check swing by Giusti does not go around, so that will load the bases with just one out. And the pressure continues on the Brooks Bombers. Sylvan Lake now loading the bases. Joey Marino stepping to the plate. Marino already with 4 RBIs on the night, but here's the thing. He has got, he's gone 2 for 4. He hasn't come around to score himself yet, but 4 RBIs, 2 for 4 at the plate. Pretty good numbers for the second baseman tonight. And, you know, that's just kind of the, I guess, goes to show the depth that you got, like the hot bat and Maddox Shaver. And, well, you're not missing it on a night like tonight. You got Joey Marino stepping in and doing what Maddox Shaver would normally do. Like, Marino's doing just fine filling in. So that's kind of some good weapons you can use knowing down the road for any of these big games that are coming up for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Yeah, they will head to, you know, the Saskatchewan road trip to Swift Current starting next Tuesday, but they do have, supposedly, as of right now, maybe Lethbridge Sunday, depending on the weather. Moreno takes a interesting swing at that low ball for strikeout and out number 2. We take a look at this pitch again, and it had a lot of movement on it. You got to give credit to Paulo Martel there on that off-speed pitch. It broke a lot. Sunk right into the turf. So I'll bring up Cooper Szyzelski. And that pitch is going to get away from Ben Simmons, which will score yet another run. And all runners advance an extra base. So another pass ball, maybe wild pitch. I don't know. Let's take a look at the replay once we get it here. And that might be able to tell me if, was that a wild pitch or was this a pass ball? That was a pass ball. So runners at third and second, ball hit high in the air right behind home plate. It's staying in, and it's going to be caught for the third out of the inning finally. Ben Simmons retires this 8th inning, and the Brooks Bombers have a long ways to climb back if they're going to get into this one. It's 15-2 heading to the bottom of the 8th when we come back. Welcome back to Gulls Baseball. A beautiful, beautiful view, that is, in the distance here at Gulls Field as the Sylvan Lake Gulls have a 15-2 lead over the Brooks Bombers. Pleased to welcome you into the Gulls Nest. Looking on the TV, you can see the owner, Graham Schetzel, joining me here in the broadcast booth. Graham, thanks for taking the time, popping in, saying hi.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kale.
Pretty good night.
It's a pleasure.
Pretty good night
it's a great night. Jen and I were just discussing. I think we've had about 10 home games so far, and this is only the third half-decent weather night, so we're appreciating it.
Yeah, we'll take it, absolutely. Of course, the rain clouds set to roll in tomorrow, which is unfortunate, and now we've announced that a few times on this broadcast now that the game has been rescheduled tomorrow night to a date in July. So definitely stay tuned to all Gulls social media for any updates and any changes, and hopefully we can get a game here on Sunday for Father's Day. As Ramses Guerrero on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls to close this game out. Now, the mercy rule can come into effect. Should the Sylvan Lake Gulls hold on to a score of 10 or more runs heading after the bottom of the 8th inning, then the mercy rule would play in, and that would be the ball game here at Gulls Field. And this ball hit pretty good, but it's makeable by left fielder, and it will be caught. Wow, Cooper Szyzelski with another diving play in left field.
That was quite a play.
It's close. Let's take a look at the replay here, and this will give us a better idea. And it looks like he comes away with it. Wow, what a catch. We've seen that play from him already over in left field just a couple games ago, and then after he made that play, that's when his bat started to come alive. So good to see Cooper Szyzelski back here in Sylvan Lake doing what he does
Cooper's
best.
starting to settle in quite clearly. He looks more comfortable now, and he's getting the flow of the game like a lot of the guys here. Takes him, even though Cooper's already been here 1 year, still an adjustment, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think when I was talking, we had Joe Whitbread in the broadcast booth. We kind of brought everybody in the broadcast booth tonight. It was kind of a fun night to have, everybody jump in and chime in on their thoughts. But Joe Whitbread even said that he talked to Cooper, and Cooper's maybe feeling a little bit of that pressure from that 2024 season coming off of an MVP season. He kind of admitted that, he's a little nervous because he knows that he had pretty high expectations to fill here.
Well, he had a pretty special year that year, and there's a banner hanging down on the wall, and I'm sure he walks underneath commemorating that season.
Yeah.
So he's probably weighs on him a little bit, but he'll be fine once he gets. He's got a good. He doesn't have to do it all himself.
No, absolutely.
He's got a great supporting cast.
And a great kid too. Just in the dressing room, brings up that morale in the dressing room as well. It's a good guy to bring back for that veteran presence to kind of, gel these guys together. So Ramses Guerrero up 1-2. This is Dalen Jeffcoats. He is 0 for 2 on the night so far. Bombers with the 7 hits, just 2 runs scored, 1 in the first and 1 in the 5th inning. And this ball hit foul. So we were talking with Akil Samuel earlier on, Graham. We're here with the owner of the Sylvan Lake Gulls. We were talking about the Oyen Pronghorns back in your good old days, and you were on that championship team in 1995.
Yep.
What can you tell us about that season in particular and how special that was for you as a player?
Super special season. In fact, I try to tell everybody that all the players that come through here, I'll pause here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's summer ball, and you're coming up here to experience a new country, maybe a new culture, it's definitely a different experience for most of these kids that come here. But I try to remind them in the little chat we have at the beginning of the year is that you're still on a team, and it's still special to win a ring, and it's very difficult to win a ring. Doesn't matter what league you're in, what team you're on. My career, for example, was mostly spent on losing teams, but that particular team in 1995 was very special, and it was definitely memorable.
And you almost relived that championship team, and I don't mean to bring it up, but last season, so close for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. I mean, there's got to be a lot of pride that you take, being the owner of this club in just 5 years to see how much this team has come and how developed they are in this league.
Yeah, we've definitely come a long ways. I mean, you look back kind of at this 5-year point, it's sort of a natural sort of benchmark, I guess. Milestone. You sort of look back to our first year in 2021, and yeah, we were competitive out of the gates, and that certainly goes through starting at Akil and Coach Chatwood, who does all the recruiting, him and the other coaches, as far as putting the product on the field, and they've done a great job since day one. But it's gotten, probably Jason would agree with me when I say it's probably gotten easier for him now that kids are more educated about what we have going on here. It's probably a little easier to recruit 5 years later.
Yeah.
We tend to win more than we lose. But the one thing about this league, as we saw, we see it nightly, there's just, you never want to predict much of anything as far as who's going to beat who.
No, exactly. And that's kind of the nice thing about this league that we're starting to see, too. The Brooks Bombers, I mean, they're a team that has kind of really turned into their own this year. They played the Sylvan Lake Gulls hard. They've already picked up 2 wins over the Gulls this season. They're playing really good baseball. Obviously, tonight having a tough go, and last night was a tough finish for them. But they're a team that's slowly but surely starting to kind of develop into their own Energy City Cactus Rats. Another team that, since the name change, had a little bit of struggles early on, but now they're starting to find a little bit of rhythm with Jordan Blundell and the bench boss there. So.
Absolutely. I watched the game last night on FloCollege into the 8th inning, and it was 1-1, and I'm thinking, geez, these dang Bombers they're tough.
That's my thoughts exactly.
And no, it's not going. They didn't go away there last night, the last couple innings, or tonight. But you can see they've beaten the Bulls a time or 2 already. They've given some of the real good teams really good games, beaten us 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So there's no pushovers in this league. We haven't seen any of the Saskatchewan teams yet, or Medicine Hat, but looks to be similar over there as well.
This is Caleb Bozek, the pinch hitter for Owen Fernandez, who comes into this game, and he watches that go by for a strikeout. So Ramses Guerrero with his first strikeout since coming into this inning. And it's just like that. It's 2 down and could very well be the last out of the ball game.
Yeah, this is a new rule that we just, our governors of the league adopted last December, I guess. We had the annual general meetings here in Red Deer. It was a highly discussed topic, and we did land on a mercy rule in instances like this. Now, I don't want to jinx it because this game's not over yet.
No, it's not. They got a runner over at first. Ben Simmons at the plate. He's got a pretty good bat as well. He's 0 for 3 on the night, but he can hit some long balls, that's for sure, if he connects one.
But this would be the first time we've witnessed the
Yeah,
first time it would come into effect here.
Now, I got to ask you quickly before we get to this, and in case it ends, some pretty cool news from you, and maybe this is what's going to the new rentals of the field in the near future potentially. But heard you're a pretty big 50-50 winner.
Oh yeah, I had a little
from your hockey team in the NHL.
I had a little stroke of luck there in March. Yes.
and I don't want to throw the number out or anything like that. I can leave that up to you if you want to discuss that. But no, it was a pretty nice win for you. And what can you say about what that was like for you guys?
Well, it was obviously amazing.
Yeah,
totally unexpected. And I have no intent, Jen and I promised Jen we wouldn't just let it disappear into either of our businesses. So there you go.
Fair. Well, I love it. Well, there's a strikeout, and that is the end of the ball game, ladies and gentlemen, after 8 innings, because this is the first time we are witnessing ever in the WCBL at Gulls Field the mercy rule coming into effect as the Sylvan Lake Gulls just really took it to the Brooks Bombers, defeating them 15-2. What a game it was here at Gulls Field as they continue to roll here, this weekend, even this season, starting to kind of get that rhythm that we knew the Gulls were going to find eventually. Now making it 6 straight wins in a row, Mr. Owner. How does that make you feel?
Feels good. I think we could all see it early in the season. You can see the pieces were there. But every year is similar, the guys kind of trickle in. They don't really gel. We don't even get everybody here till usually the 5th, 6th of June. And then there's another little adjustment period after that. So I kind of always want to reserve judgment until about the 15 game mark.
Yep.
I guess that's roughly where we're at now, and I like what I'm seeing.
What's your thoughts on vintage baseball night here for the first time ever? I mean, it's kind of different vibes, hey?
Very different. I mean, I'm a baseball traditionalist, so I'll watch baseball anywhere, anytime, but I thought it was, I don't know that we would want to do it 28, 30 times a year.
Yeah, it's definitely
But for something different, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, and I'm excited for you guys to kind of get the fan, experience and get their input on the game too, because I guess really at the end of the day, you guys really judge how you go about things around the fan experience.
Oh, for sure. We can win or lose on the baseball field, but the fans also can tell us whether we're winning or losing with them, and that's kind of paramount. That's pretty important. So I'd be curious to see. We'll get some emails and we'll get some feedback over it, and I guess we'll see if we do it again or not.
Well, right now, typically what we would do on a normal broadcast, we go down to field level with our in-game host, who's not here, obviously, because it is vintage baseball night, so we don't really have a player of the game. And technically, the Gulls weren't the home team tonight anyways. But I think it's definitely deserved to mention the player of the game, and I think the player that I'm going to pick tonight, Elijah Hamill, had a solid game. As did a lot of guys. I mean, the bats were going for a lot of guys tonight, but you take a look at Elijah Hamill's numbers here. I just got to pull up my sheet here, but he went 3 for 5 at the dish with a couple RBIs in his name. So
talk about another returning guy from a couple years ago starting to settle in.
Yeah.
I mean, Elijah had a huge impact for that. He was only here, I want to say, about half the summer 2 years ago, but a lot of people remember him. A lot of our fans are very excited, including ourselves, that he's back, and he's starting to look like the Elijah of old.
And then talk about new, honorable mention, big time for Joey Marino. He went 2 for 5 at the plate, had 4 RBIs on the night. So, Graham, you're getting a lot of depth with this roster this year. You're seeing it early already. I mean, yeah, you got the returning guys. You get the Cooper Sazelskis. You get the Hamills. You get even the Gavin Glenzes, who's kind of starting to come around a little bit as well. But then you're also getting these new guys like Tyler Graves and Marinos and Maddox Shaver.
Yeah, Shaver.
Crazy.
And Coleman Perry is a name that
Perry's huge,
I hear on the concourse all the time. He's quickly become a fan favorite in how he plays the game. Maddox Shaver's already made a real impact on our team for sure. Tylen Graves has also done the same. John Boy, I'm probably missing somebody, but
no, absolutely.
There's 4 or 5, 6 new guys here that are really making a difference.
It's making the owners happy, and it's making the fans happy after the Sylvan Lake Gulls win yet another game here at Gulls Field, this time mercying the Brooks Bombers 15-2. But what a night it was. Elijah Hamill getting things started. Just a big triple that he drove in Elias Duncan. And that just kind of set the tone as the night went on. Now, you got to give credit. Maverick McAllister kind of made things interesting with a solo homer to open things up for the Bombers offense. But then the Gulls kind of settled in. They drove in more runs. They didn't back down. They added to their lead. You know, we had Joe Whitbread in the broadcast booth. We had, of course, Akil Samuel in the broadcast booth. And now, of course, the owner, Graham Schetzel, here with us too. But some more great batting by the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Great defense that turned into it. Bad singing by Joe and myself here in the broadcast booth. But Brooks Bachman also getting a homer of the season, his first on the year. It was fun to watch for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They'll have a day off tomorrow, but they'll be back on Sunday, hopefully, depending on the weather. Stay tuned to the social media channels. For Graham Schetzel, Akil Samuel, Joe Whitbread, I'm Cale Clark, and the Bird's Eye View. Another one here tonight.